Hello, welcome to the Long Island Weather Update, as well as the Hurricane Rafael update. We're going to talk about that. Yes, I know it's election night, but you may hear the fans blare. It's just an oven in this place. So just Alley's 70, and I had to put the air conditioner on and start cooling this place off. So you can see not a lot of clouds. Started with clouds today, and then the clouds kind of broke up, and that gave us a very warm day. But before I talk about that, just want to go over Monday morning's lows. Not this morning's lows, but this is a nice chilly night. Monday morning, 25 West Hampton, got down to the mid-30s. The clouds came in, so it kind of capped things off. But it did Monday morning. It was pretty chilly, but not dealing with any of those nice lows now. No, unfortunately. So looking at ice slips high, got up to 70 degrees today. That's well above the normal high of 57. Low only 48. But if we go back to Monday's statistics, the high was 57 and the low was 34, and that was 1 degree below normal for the high and 3 degrees below normal for the day. The low 7 degrees below normal. So we went from that to this warmth that we're having today, and tomorrow it's going to be even warmer. So let's go to the latest on Rafael right now. I also want to note that there is a red flag warning in effect as well. For it looks like much of New England, Connecticut, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, all under red flag warning for tomorrow for the threat of wildfires. So just going to look at the highs right now across our the highs today across our area, and I'm sure it was pretty warm. If they would load, that would be good. Seems like the high temperatures don't want to load at all. All right, that's not good. What is going on here? The station plot's loading, but nothing else. Well, temperatures right now in the mid-60s. The alley's close to 70. Definitely feeling a little more on the humid side. Highest, dew points up to 61, so that would explain it. It's annoying, though. We can't get the high temperatures on the map. Here we go, finally. So high temperatures, 70 degrees across much of Long Island, around 70, except at the South Shore. City, low 70s, 74 at LaGuardia. And then, of course, once we go into New Jersey, pretty hot in Toms River. Got up to 76 there today. Lows probably didn't drop all that much. Still got down to 41 this morning in a lot of area. 48 at Islip. The alley did not cool off that low, and I had to have the AC on. No surprise. But if you were in Toms River today, you were dealing with a pretty hot day today. See what we had at Miller Air Park today. Temperatures, well into the 70s, so it's well above what it's supposed to be. No surprise there. And of course, everything is dry as well. I'm surprised we don't have the red flag warning as well. But let's go to the Hurricane Center now that we went over that. Let's talk about Hurricane Rafael already. So latest public advisory on Rafael is actually, this is an old advisory, near hurricane intensity, so it's not. Let's get the update. Rafael intensifies into a hurricane. Maximum staying winds to 75 miles an hour with higher gusts. The minimum central pressure has fallen to 986 millibars. Its location, 19.4 north, 79.9 west, about 20 miles southeast of Little Cayman, and about 305 miles south-southeast of HAVANA, Cuba. Maximum staying winds are 75 miles an hour, moving northwest at 15 miles an hour. This is the next hurricane, and let's go to the map here that we got to talk about here. This is going to be entering the Gulf, and who knows how strong this thing could get, but unfortunately for Cuba, there is a hurricane warning in effect for Cuba, western part of Cuba, and they've been having a lot of issues with their power grids, so that's not a good situation at all. And tropical storm warnings in effect for the Florida Keys right now. Turn this off, but and they have been making a landfall in Louisiana as a tropical storm right now. So, yes, we have to watch this next tropical system. So, even though we're watching the election, we've got to still talk about the weather here and this storm. So let's take a look at some satellite imagery of it. Let's first show you the CONUS satellite imagery. And they've also had a lot of severe weather in the Midwest. That number of tornadoes in Oklahoma and that whole area. That's calmed down, but here's Rafael right here at the bottom. You can clearly see it getting its act together as it takes aim at Cuba. If it crosses Cuba, it'll probably lose some strength. Let's go look at the latest satellite imagery here on Rafael. Definitely see some blow-ups there, so you can definitely see it's intensifying as it heads for Cuba. Let's go to tropical tidbits and look at that as well. Here is the latest on Rafael, and you can definitely see that convection there popping. That's definitely intensifying. Doesn't look like it's too large of a storm, but it could grow in size as it makes its way to the north. Looking at the spaghetti models, you can see most of them take it into the Gulf. Some models do take it due west. Some models have it make a landfall. And the question is where the remnants go for this when it comes to getting some rain around here as well. This is the intensity guidance. Some models take it as far as a Cat 3. It would not surprise me if this thing becomes a major hurricane, at least for a brief amount of time, given that we still have plenty of warm waters in that area, and the models always underestimate that. Speaking of the models, let's go ahead and look at them as we head into the later part of this week, into the weekend, tracking what happens with Rafael, obviously. So this is the GFS model, and you can see crossing Cuba, and then in the Gulf, and the GFS kind of has it. You can see that for our area, we have a cold front move through dry tomorrow night. High pressure builds in with a slightly cooler air mass. And then this is the issue here. Will we get the remnants from Rafael sucked into this cold front that could bring us some rains overnight, Sunday night into Monday morning? That is the question right now. GFS thinks we will get some rains from this, and this would finally end the drought if this were to verify. But we have a long ways to go before we even get to that particular point. Let's look at the and you can see that the storm is not. It's a small storm, doesn't get too intense. It does sort of weakens as it makes its way. Starts dealing with some shear from that trough. This is the GFS. All right. European is a little different, so we'll go to the European next, and we'll go to the 12Z because it goes further out. Let's see if the European is any different here with this. Yeah, the European, it takes it a little, it suppresses it more, and that's not a good look because the European would mean, once again, we don't really see a whole lot of rain, just scattered light rain with that next front moving through because the moisture from Rafael does not get pulled up into the trough. So it's totally different because if we look at the troughs, not that one. If we look at the troughs here, all right. So here we go. You can see there's Rafael. There's the trough. It's way up there, all right? It just misses it, all right? Whereas if you look at the GFS, the trough digs deeper. It digs a little bit deeper, but not much. So you have to wonder if we're going to even see rain from this thing. So for those getting your hopes up about rain from this, I wouldn't start selling. I wouldn't get your hopes up too much yet. I really wouldn't. We'll go to the Gulf of Mexico here, and we'll take a look and see how. Let's find the Gulf. The Gulf. Do they have one for the Gulf here? Or it's just Southeast U.S., I guess. Tropics. All right, we'll just use the Southeast U.S. one, and we'll look at the wind here. The wind at the surface. All right, so we'll see how the wind, and you can see it's a very small storm. Goes over Cuba, very small in area. So it really, the impacts as far as wind goes and waves, probably mainly be a threat to Cuba, not so much our area, obviously. From what I'm seeing right here on this. But as we get closer, we'll definitely talk more about this storm. But I want to go to our weather now and just talk about the heat that we're going to be dealing with for tomorrow. Let's look at the HRRR. It may not all the way be in tomorrow. Yeah, it's mostly in. So we'll just go over the heat for tomorrow. You'll see the winds pretty much southwesterly tomorrow. And that means inland areas are going to get warm. With that warm flow there. And you can see this front coming through as we get into Thursday. The front comes through, though it's going to lag a little bit, Probably take until the afternoon to start really feeling the difference from this front, as well as. Come on, what are we doing here? This thing is acting up again. I don't know what it's doing. Mouse is acting up. I don't know what this thing is. Let's go to the temperatures. All right, so looking at tonight, not going to cool down very much tonight, and then tomorrow, that sets the stage for a lot of areas reaching 80 degrees. Islip may hit 80 degrees. You might see some more records being broken again. Only areas that'll get some relief, the South Shore, generally speaking. And it stays kind of warm to the evening. And then for Thursday, still be upper 60s to around 70 because this front's going to lag a little bit. And we're still going to see that lag in the front because of that. So, and again, not going to be any rain with this front. It's going to be a dry front. Let's just look at the sky cover here. So here's your sky cover, obviously, tomorrow. It shouldn't be too many clouds. Maybe some cirrus time to time. Maybe some fog in the morning. And then for Thursday, we're going to have the clouds from this front here in the area as it pushes to this. It won't be until Friday that we really clear things out and have a nicer weather again. But we're going to have to deal with some warmth, that's for sure, tomorrow. I'll just go over some graphics on the Ventu Sky site of Rafael as it hits Cuba. This is Rafael right here. Let's go to the wind gusts here. That's fairly close to what we're seeing. So let's track this. It's not going to be a terribly strong storm. Looks like it has it strengthening a little bit. Yeah, it does have it strengthening a little bit before it makes landfall. So it's going to be a bad situation for Cuba, obviously, the western part of Cuba. And then it moves out into the Gulf after that. And it weakens a little bit after that, as you see. Loses some of its punch. Let's go into Thursday here. And you'll see it loses some of its punch, but then it regains some of it. But, I mean, the storm doesn't look terribly impressive on this particular model. This is the Icon model here that we're looking at. So we can look at another model here. We can go to the windy.com and look at that model. And let's see what this one has. Wind gusts. And we'll see what the European model does with this thing. This is the European, and you can see it definitely. Cuba is definitely going to feel some effects from this thing. And the European definitely much more intense than the other model. Actually gets the European, actually. Strengthens this pretty strong, actually, by Thursday. It's in the Gulf. It's got plenty of warm water to work with, and this thing, yeah, it could become a major hurricane, perhaps, Thursday into Friday. Notice it stays way offshore, though. The track keeps it south. This is the more suppressed look of the European here that it has, and you can see the very strong winds because of this suppressed. It's more over that warmer water, but then it starts weakening. So the European would keep the United States avoiding the worst of it, though there may be some elevated surf here. Let's go to waves here. Let's see what we got here. Waves. Here we are. You can see that definitely is going to be some rough water. So coastal flooding could be an issue even far away from the storm. There will be tidal issues to deal with, but the worst of the storm would stay offshore if the Euro is right. But we still got a ways to go with this storm. So that's the thing. Main thing tomorrow, we're going to be dealing with this heat. Again, let's visualize the heat on the Ventu sky for tomorrow. And you'll see here 1 o'clock in the afternoon. It's going to be pretty warm, and I think this is underestimating. I think we'll be close to 80 degrees inland. South Shore will be cooler, but it's going to be pretty warm. So get ready to sweat tomorrow, and that's going to wrap up this Long Island weather report, and we'll keep track of the weather. We'll be back tomorrow night as we deal with the heat and deal with what's going to happen with Tropical Storm Hurricane Rafael, and whether it will bring us any rain or not. Right now, the models are still out to lunch. They're sort of split, just like the election. So have a good night.